Keble Bar was originally supposed to be a bus depot, and then while they were building the bus depot, they couldn't get funding, blah, 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 so they let artists go in for really cheap. They gave like photography studios, music studios, theatre studios. Bus depot didn't get built, turned into the cultural promoter of Ireland. Now its reputation is for stag parties and hen parties, so you generally will get sexually assaulted when you walk through Keble Bar. About the lengths their mothers would go to have a drink. Now this song is somewhere between 180 and 200 years old. So Waxies were candle makers and cobblers. They used to make candles and they used to fix shoes, right? So they had this epic party every year called the Waxies Dargos. It was in a place called Ringsend. So if you go down the Liffey here, just before you get to England, you take a right and there's a place called Ringsend. In Ireland, we tend to name things after what they are. It's a ring, it's the end of it, Ringsend. Now, so Waxies, so they had this epic party called the Waxies Dargle, and a Dargle was a rich person's party. There's a river Dargle at the Dublin Mountains, and all the rich houses were there, so when a big party was usually called a Dargle, so the Waxies called their party a Dargle as a joke because they were all working class and traditional. Now, the lengths that these women would actually go to at the time, Dublin is a very different place now from when it was at the turn of the previous century. Turn of the previous century, it was very poor. We had some of the poorest slums and tenements in Dublin City. So the lengths women would go to were in the first verse, prostitution. So Monto was one of the biggest red light districts at the turn of, in the 1900s. Monto was the biggest red light district. The Galway races is a place where rich people go, so the women just wanted to bag a rich man. And then the last verse is about starvation and alcoholism. So the whole song is basically about alcoholism and starvation, but it's written in masterful verse and it's quite funny as well. So we're going to do it now. Now I also mentioned back then you would have pawned your clothes. So on a Friday night it was normal for people to go and pawn everything they own, go out drinking, go back on Monday and go, can I get my stuff back please? And at the time the pawn shops were right here on this street here called Capel Street. Now, so there is a call and response in this song and it's quite simple. I'm going to say, what'll you have? And you say, I'll have a pint. What'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
Oh, that was all right. Well, you see, there's an unspoken code between barmen in this country where they'll know if you've said this line. So if you walk into a bar later, you say, I'll have a pint, they'll go, ooh, you didn't sing that earlier, did you? No. So, what'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
I'll have a pint with you, sir. But if one of you doesn't order soon, we'll get thrown out of the boozer. Says my L1 to your L1, will we go to the Waxies Dargle? Says your L1 to my L1, I haven't got a farthing. I went up to Monto town to see Uncle McCardle, but he wouldn't give me the half a crown to go to the Waxies Dargle. What'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
I'll have a pint with you, sir. But if one of you doesn't order soon, we'll get thrown out of the boozer. Says my L1 to your L1, will we go to the Galway races? Says your L1 to my L1, I'll hawk me old man's braces. I went down to Capel Street to the Jewish moneylenders, but he wouldn't give me the half a crown for the old man's red suspenders. What'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
I'll have a pint with you, sir. But if one of you doesn't order soon, we'll get thrown out of the boozer. Says my L1 to your L1, we've got no beef or mutton. If we went down to Monto town, we might get a drink for nothing. Here's a good piece of advice I got from a fishmonger. When the food is scarce and you see the hearse, well, you've probably died of hunger. What'll you have?
I'll have a pint.
I'll have a pint with you, sir. But if one of you doesn't order soon, we'll be thrown out of the boozer. Glories, heroes of renown, the passing tales and glories that once was Dublin town. The hallowed halls and houses, the haunting children's rhymes. I remember Dublin city in the rare old times. Okay, keep going. Who lived and worked in the local area, and they both went out and bought a pig. But now the thing is, this is kind of like a call and response to the last one, except our response this time is going to be Irish dancing. So our chorus is just quite simply going to be Tra la la la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, switch, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la. Okay, so find a partner for the chorus, and we're all doing the sing along. Okay. I will put you up to the witch Saifshan, and she will put a spell on you in a spancel. So when you turn an animal upside down and tie its 4 feet together, that's a spancel. The second song is written by a leprechaun. Now, this leprechaun at the time had women throwing themselves at him, so he decided to fall in love with a girl, but that girl then ran away with a normal tall fella. So he decided to write a diss track about him, and that diss track is about the length of his legs, basically. He can't stop talking about his legs. So, and I'll tell, before we do on the second song, I'll tell you what the lyrics are. So, the first one, so this is on Canavan Bana, and it goes a little something like this. It's in a slip jig, so it's in a 3/3 time, and it goes. Gurrumpin, 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 Michaelis Moira, gurrumpin, 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 Shinini Canavan Bana, gurrumpin, 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 Michaelis Moira, gurrumpin, 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 Shinini Canavan Bana, Harame, 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 Sus quick Saifshan, harame, 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 Uskahishi Berhining Lanard. Now, the second song, the leprechaun song. So, this is the song called Paudine O'Rafferty. So that's the name of the man that ran away with his love. So what he says is he has got trousers without a waistband. He's got tall, skinny legs. He's got a hat without a rim. He's got tall, skinny legs. And my love ran away with Paudine O'Rafferty. Then he says he's got socks up to his knees. He's got a hat without a rim. He's got long yellow legs. And my love ran away with Paudine O'Rafferty. And then he says, I'm gonna stand up and fight you now. Oh, but my knees are actually fucked. I'm really old and I'm only 3 foot tall, but I still have the seduction of women in me. And then he says, I won't get with a girl from the big house because she's always angry and cantankerous. She's always kicking the cat and the dog, and at midnight she's always screaming at people. I will get with a girl from the mountains where she will milk the goats, tie up the horses, and she'll make me butter, biscuits and milk, and she'll never run away with Paudine O'Rafferty. Now all the phones are out, so my glasses are gone. So, this goes. Brish the gun buster vi fatten O'Rafferty, hot the gun bunna vi fatten O'Rafferty. Cos the quailada vi fatten O'Rafferty is Jailig McGrassel le fatten O'Rafferty. Fifalala, fifalaladio, fifalala, fifalaladio. Brish the gangluste vi fatten O'Rafferty, hot the bunarda vi fatten O'Rafferty. Cos the quail bui vi fatten O'Rafferty is Jailig McGrassel le fatten O'Rafferty. Fifalala, fifalaladio, fifalala, fifalaladio. I riggedy he vi fatten O'Rafferty for Arnie fadum ta iskadi lagadum. Thomas and Ishak Neil 3 fadenum. Oh, fake Martian Hain Tom Malakna man Adam. Fifalala, fifalaladio, fifalala, fifalaladio. Colleen Tigmore, Gajoni, Jackie May, being she'd Nugalak, Stugak, Fargak. Being Gachnia, Bwilla, and Chattis and Madraki. A Maxamani heta focal na faraki. Fifalala, fifalaladio, fifalala, fifalaladio. Colleen on sleeve, gov Willaways, Agamsa, Bleeg Shibo, August can gloak she coupledom. Dain Shima Imyama Kishja August Mabanya August Ni Jailig Magrasa Lefaten O'Rafferty Fifalala Fifalaladio Fifalala Fifalaladio.
Seem to travel faster now.
Built in 1972 when, believe it or not, we first got electricity. So up until 1972, everything here was done manually, so no electricity. So in 72, this room here, three lights. Obviously our light is white, not blue. So
let me be a friend. My home's open wide. We can live There's nothing to fear if you try. If you keep believing, like rain falling soft from the sky, I'll tend to your needs. We can live here. We can die. We can live here. We can die. Oh, oh, so bright and awake. My heart levitates. Oh, oh, so bright and awake. My heart levitates. Oh, oh, so bright and awake. My heart levitates. Oh, oh, so bright and awake. My heart levitates. We can live here. We can die. We can live here. We can die.
Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. And I just can't hide how I feel about you. Nothing can take that away. Cause you make the world so beautiful, so beautiful. I was restless and stranded on time seems endless when nothing's going on. But you came round and turned it upside down. You saved me when I was helpless, but now that darkness gone. Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful. And I just can't hide how I feel about you. Nothing can take that away. Cause you make the world so beautiful, so beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful. Cause you know the world is beautiful, so beautiful.
what they believed was happening. And of course, with the mass exodus of all the members,